In this EliteWorks video, we're going to be going over sections, rows, and columns. Now, section, rows, and columns can arguably be the most important concept when building your website. So it's extremely important to understand how they work and how they should properly be used. Now, when it comes to creating a component, so a page or a header or a footer, they are all going to be built based off of section, row, and column. Now, and think of these as like the foundation for your home, right? If you have a strong foundation, the widgets are like the framework that's done on top of that foundation, is a good way to put it. Now, the way that these work in a depth of view is you have the base layer, which is your section, and then on top of section you have what is called your row, and then on top of row you have columns. Now, an easy way to kind of demonstrate how this depth works is we're going to change the background color of each of these, and you can kind of see which one takes importance. So first off, we're going to do the base layer, which is the section. So if I click on section to open up the menu and I go to styles, now if I click on background, and you can see I've got background color. Now currently it's not assigned, so if I assign it a yellow, you're going to notice the entire section is now yellow. Now the row and the column are transparent currently because we have not set them, so they're going to display what is ever behind them. Now if I go into the row, let's click on row and go to styles for the row itself, and we are going to click on background, and we're going to change the color to red and click done. Now notice how the red is over the top of the section. Okay, that's because the row layer is above section. And then our last layer is going to be column. Now we're going to create a column by clicking on it, and we're going to click add column right. Okay, and with the right hand column, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change its background color to a purple, and we're going to click done. Now you can see the depth of color going from yellow to purple because of how they are designed. Now when it comes to the section, rows, and columns, these also determine or can define how your website looks on smaller screen sizes. So when you create columns, you are creating what are called breakpoints. So the point at which you can move the sizing of this column or resize it is where it will break when it goes to a mobile screen. So if I go up to the mobile editor and click on the phone as a quick example, now you can see that I've got different column colors. I've got my row and I've got my section, or excuse me, I've got my column. Now why isn't section displayed though? Well, section has to do with the outline or the widescreen view. Once your screen shrinks, you're only going to be building within row and column. So to demonstrate that, if we go to publish this page, and I go to view live at the top, now you can see how I've got my yellow, my red, and my purple. Now if we shrink the screen and it condenses, see how it takes away the section background? And if I keep shrinking, now it's going to break and it's going to shift the column down. Building in this manner is going to allow you to create a responsive based website without having to, or without having the requirement to manipulate it or edit it all the way down the chain as far as sizing. Now you have that ability to do so, and if you want more on that, look at more of the videos when it comes to creating a website that's responsive. But just a rule of thumb, as you're separating and creating these sections, rows, and columns, that's their primary focus is to set that foundation. Now if we want to add another section, I can simply click on section and click add section below. I can add another section above. Now these menus are going to work the same. So if I go into row and I click add a row below or above, excuse me, so now I've got another row that I can manipulate, resize, and move if I want to add a row below this one. Now these rows, they're on top of the initial section still. So they're still pulling the section color that's been distributed. But this column, or this row and this column, are still pulling their background color properties. So that's just a quick basic overview and look into section, rows, and columns. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to our support group and we're happy to help you. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.